Good morning, children. Today we will discuss about another concept, ANS. Central nervous system we discussed, peripheral nervous system we discussed. Next one is ANS. ANS means, you know very well, what is the name of full name of ANS? Autonomic nervous system. Autonomic nervous system. This is the one more important. This one, self-governing nervous system. Self-governing. Okay, self-governing nervous system. The system is self-governing nervous system. This is the point you should have to remember. Self-governing nervous system. The next one, it operates automatically. It operates. Okay, automatically it will operate, or another one, what he called automatically or involuntarily. What is involuntarily? That one we are going to discuss without our involvement. Okay, involuntarily it will be. It includes what? It includes all those responses. It includes all those responses. It includes all those responses. Okay, remember this one. Responses against stimuli. Okay, which are not under the which are not under the very important point, which are not under the control of and what you called animal, control of animal. So which are, you know very well, what you call the involuntary, what you call involuntary activities. These points you should have to remember. Next one. Next point about the autonomic nervous system is, what is that next point? The visceral nerves of visceral nerves. Okay, visceral nerves. Okay, visceral nerves of autonomic nervous system. Okay, autonomic nerve controls the activities of which one? Internal organs. These points you should have to remember. Internal organs. Next one, autonomic nervous system is also called, that's why it is also called visceral. What you call visceral nervous system. Another name of autonomic nervous system is visceral nervous system. Next one, so it is based upon classified anatomically and functionally. Anatomically and functionally. Okay, functionally ANS. Okay, anatomically, functionally ANS. Okay, what you called classified into Okay, classified into what are those? Okay, sympathetic, very important. Sympathetic nervous system, and another one is what you called parasympathetic nervous system. And parasympathetic nervous system. Like this, They based upon anatomically and functionally. Okay, so the smooth muscles. Next point I am writing about this. The smooth muscles of various internal organs. Okay, smooth muscles are there. The smooth muscles. Okay, smooth muscles of internal organs. Smooth muscles of internal organs. What they will do? Smooth muscles of internal organs receives both sympathetic and receives sympathetic and what you call parasympathetic sympathetic and parasympathetic nerves. Sympathetic and parasympathetic nerves. Okay, this point you should have to remember. Both the systems have involuntary, okay, both sympathetic and parasympathetic involuntary opposite effects. Involuntary, okay, opposite effects. Okay, children, observe very carefully what I am telling. First point I am telling to you. Autonomic nervous system. Autonomic nervous system means it's a self-governing nervous system. Self, without other brain and other spinal cord, they will only work themselves. So especially self-governing nervous system or autonomic nervous system, where we will see in the sense visceral organs. So why you are calling self-governing nervous system? It operates automatically or involuntarily. Without our involvement, it will be operates. So it includes all those responses against stimuli which are not under the control of animals. So what is it? Not under the control of animals. Suppose heartbeat is there. Heartbeat is not control of the animal. It's self-functioning. So that heartbeat is under control of ANS. Pancreas is there. Pancreas secretions and vertical stopping of secretion, not control of that animal. So under control of ANS. So it includes all those responses against stimuli which are not under the control of animals. So these all are called what you called involuntary activities which are not under control, which are not control of the animal. So pancreas, liver, okay, and what you called heart, kidneys, these all are under control of autonomic nervous system. If enter any response to the liver without involvement of that animal, they can against the stimulus they will respond. That is only ANS. So the nerves which are involving the ANS, they are called autonomic nervous system, are called visceral nerves of autonomic nervous system. Visceral nerves of autonomic nervous system controls the activity of internal organs, means liver, next example, liver, pancreas, gallbladder, these all are under control of autonomic nervous system by the help of which nerves? Visceral nerves. So visceral nerves of autonomic nervous system controls the activities of internal organs. So that is why this autonomic nervous system is also called visceral nervous system. How many names? One is autonomic nervous system. Number two, self-governing nervous system. Number three, visceral nervous system. So selfly functioning. Next, the based upon anatomy and function, based upon anatomically and functionally, autonomic nervous system classified into number one, sympathetic nervous system and parasympathetic nervous system. Based upon which one? Autonomically, functionally, based upon function and anatomically, autonomic nervous system classified into sympathetic nervous system, parasympathetic nervous system. What they will do? Smooth muscles of internal organs receives sympathetic, parasympathetic nerves. So smooth muscles which receives the sympathetic and parasympathetic nerves. So this sympathetic and parasympathetic involuntary opposite effects. So one will be increase in the sense, increase the rate of reaction in the sense, one will be decrease the rate of reaction. So involuntary opposite effects of both each other. Sympathetic opposite, parasympathetic. Parasympathetic opposite, sympathetic. Like that, the involuntary opposite effects are there in the cons. Okay, Sindha? So we will continue. Okay, differences we will see. Sympathetic and parasympathetic we are going to discuss. Sympathetic and parasympathetic. Okay, children, sympathetic and parasympathetic. First one, argon, first column, argon, like this you can divide. Then sympathetic, okay, system, sympathetic system. The second column you divide parasympathetic, okay, sympathetic and parasympathetic, like this you can divide. Now what sympathetic effect on particular organs we are going to discuss. Parasympathetic and sympathetic. Okay, the first one is heart, organ, heart. What our sympathetic will do on heart? Increases. What it will do? Increases the, because increases the contraction and rate of heartbeat. Increases the contraction, okay, contraction and rate of heartbeat. Which one? The sympathetic nervous system. Parasympathetic, what it will do? It decreases, very important. It decreases the, okay, decreases the contraction and rate of the heartbeat. Contraction and rate of heartbeat. Okay, this point you should have to remember, heartbeat. Okay. Second one, blood vessels. Second one, blood vessels. Organs, suppose blood vessels. What they will be? What sympathetic will be? Constriction of blood vessels. Constriction of blood vessels. Constriction of blood vessels. So sympathetic will be contracts blood vessels, and here we will see dilation of, what you call, blood vessels. Dilation of blood vessels. Next one, lungs. The lungs mainly dilates the bronchi and bronchioles. Okay, dilates bronchi and bronchioles. Dilates bronchi and bronchioles. Here, parasympathetic, very important, constricts the bronchi and bronchioles. Constricts the bronchi and bronchioles. Okay, this one you have to remember. Constricts the bronchi and bronchioles. Next one. Next important point you should have to remember. Eyes. What eyes? So here dilates the pupil. And here opposite what? Constricts the, what do you call it? Constricts the pupil. Okay. The next one, stomach. What stomach? What will happen? What effect is there on the stomach? So inhibits the secretion of, inhibits the secretion of gastric juice. Gastric juice in stomach. It will, what will happen? Opposite what? What? Stimulates the secretion. Stimulates the secretion. Next important one, salivary glands. Salivary glands means you know very well what it will be. Secretion of saliva. Inhibits the secretion of saliva. But here in this case, what will be? Stimulates the secretion of saliva. Next, what is that one? Urinary bladder. Last one what? Urinary bladder. So urinary bladder case, what will happen? Here relaxation. What will be there? Here relaxation. And in this case, the parasympathetic, it will be contraction. Okay, contracts the urinary bladder like this. Okay, children, observe very carefully what we are discussing. So the ANS based upon original functional, ANS divided into two parts, sympathetic and parasympathetic. Okay, now what is the effect of sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous systems on the organs we are discussing? First organ, heart. What is this one? Heart beat. What you call contraction, systole. Contraction means what? Systole. The sympathetic nervous system increases the contraction and rate of heartbeat. So systole and heartbeat will be increased by sympathetic. Then exact opposite what? Parasympathetic decreases the, here decreases the contraction and rate of heartbeat. One is increasing, one is decreasing. Parasympathetic decreasing heartbeat. Next one, blood vessels. What do you call? Blood vessels. On blood vessels, what impact is there? Sympathetic nervous system. The blood vessels constricted, contraction of the blood vessels will be takes place by sympathetic nervous system. But here, what will happen? The dilation of blood vessels. What will happen? The dilation of blood vessels will be, means sympathetic nervous system contracts the blood vessels. Parasympathetic nervous system, what is called? Relax the blood vessels. Dilation of blood vessels we will see. Next, lungs. What lungs? Lungs, mainly the impact of the sympathetic nervous system on the lungs dilates the bronchi, bronchi, bronchioles, the tree, pulmonary tree. So the dilates, relaxes the bronchi and bronchioles. But here parasympathetic, here relaxed in the sense, dilates in the sense, here automatically what? Constricts the bronchi and bronchioles. Here relaxation, here contraction of bronchi and bronchioles. The next one, eyes. So eyes have pupil. In between the lens, very well, in the structure of the eyeball, if you see, iris and pupil will be there. So pupil helpful for the passage of the light. How much amount of the light should have to enter into the eyeball will be decided by the pupil. So the contraction and relaxation of the pupil means here the pupil will be relaxed by the help of sympathetic nervous system. But by the parasympathetic nervous system, the pupil will be constrict. The next one, stomach. What will happen? What are the effect of sympathetic nervous system on stomach? Stomach, very well, stomach secretes which juice? Gastric juice. Very, very important, which contains the renin. Okay, like that enzymes are the lipases. Okay, like that some enzymes are there which are helpful for the digestion. But here the stomach gastric juice inhibits the, which one? Sympathetic nervous system inhibits the secretion of gastric juice in the stomach, means stops the secretion of gastric juice, HCl and everything. But here the parasympathetic nervous system stimulates the gastric juice in the stomach. One is inhibiting, one is stimulating. Next one, salivary glands. Salivary glands secretes the saliva, but here the sympathetic nervous system inhibits the secretion of saliva, but parasympathetic nervous system stimulates the secretion of saliva. Here decreasing, stopping, here production, secretion, stimulation is going on by the parasympathetic. So urinary bladder, you know very well, in excretory system, urinary bladder will be relaxed, then here parasympathetic nervous system contract, sympathetic will be relaxed, parasympathetic will be contracts. Like that, what will happen? Exact opposite, exact opposite. One is increasing, one is decreasing. One is okay, constricting, one is dilating. So one is dilates, one constricts. These all are most important concepts in the what you called autonomic nervous system. So next class we will be discuss with another content. What is another content? You know, chemical coordination in animals. What is our next topic? Hormones. How what you called hormones are mainly important for what you called our main how they will be response for our systems. Okay, hormones coordination in the inside we will be discussing the next class. Thank you children.